to my channel. If you are new here, then hello and welcome. For today's video, we're going to be chatting all about the products that I regret buying. These are products that I wish I'd never spent my money on, that I wish I could have returned, that I should have returned. We're going to be chatting all about those products. My schedule here on my channel is I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you do not miss out on those videos. And also we have a giveaway going on right now on my channel. If you guys want to check that out, I will have it linked down below. Also, if you head over to my Instagram, I have a giveaway over on there as well. We're full of giveaways here. I will also have my Instagram linked down below. And let's get started with the products I regret buying. Before we start this video, we have to do a little bit of a disclaimer and just say that just because I regret buying these products doesn't mean that they're bad products in any way. It just means that they didn't work out for me, that I personally didn't think they were worth the money, or that I didn't really like them. So that doesn't mean that you guys won't like them and they won't work out for you. I hope that they do. Let's get started with the first item. For my first item, it's actually gonna be 3-in-1 because I bought 3 of these guys and I don't like all 3 of them. So these are the Triple Baked Highlighters from Makeup Revolution. I got so excited when I seen these. I really like their highlights, and I was like, the packaging on these is so cute, and I got all excited, and they look like they're gonna be really, really pretty. This is the one in Goddess of Faith. I haven't really seen these around again. They might still have them online, but I haven't seen them in store. I did buy them online, so I didn't have a chance to swatch them. Okay, so when you swatch it, it looks like it's gonna be really pigmented, really pretty. The reason I don't like these is because I feel like they're super chalky looking. I don't know if you can tell, but they are just like really chalky looking, and they are doing okay swatches, but when I apply them on my face, you can hardly even see them, and they just like apply really just not how I'd like my highlights to be applied. I purchased all 3 of these. I wish I had returned them. I didn't return them. It's been too long now, and so now I just display them. I put them in my makeup room and I stare at them and I think of all the things that I should have returned and I never did, and I guess they look pretty sitting on my shelf, but for my next product that I regret buying, this is the Tarte Clay Stick Foundation. I was so excited when this came out. I got really excited for a stick foundation from Tarte. I really like their foundations. And I have to say that I was really disappointed with this one, and I wish I would have returned it. I have used a decent amount of it just because I was trying to use it up, but I just find that this gets really greasy on my skin, and it's like you have to use so much of it. Like honestly, I've probably only worn this maybe 10 times, and I've already like used it all up. So the fact that it hardly has very much in it, I've had my Makeup Forever one for a long time, and I still have a ton of product in that one, and I think this was like $42 or something, so definitely not worth it, and definitely regret buying this one. Like I said, I feel like it got really greasy on my face, and I don't even have oily skin. I have dry skin, so the fact that it was making me greasy is kind of a weird thing for me. And I also just feel like you had to use a lot of it to get any sort of coverage, and I'm more into full coverage, medium coverage kind of foundations, and this one just wasn't cutting it. Next thing that I regret buying is the Subculture palette. Wah, wah, wah. This is the Subculture palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I put this in my 7 most disappointing products of 2017. If you guys want to check that video out, I'll put a card up here and I'll link it down below. But this was definitely one of those disappointing eyeshadow palettes that I purchased. I don't care for it. I have a hard time blending with it. I just feel like the shades in it aren't very pigmented, and I'm just not a fan of it. And I wish I never bought it. The next product I regret buying is actually a palette. This is the BECCA CHRISSY TEIGAN highlighting palette. I have to say that this palette and me just, I don't know, I regret purchasing it. The reason why is these shades just don't really look good on my skin tone. It's more of like this pink highlight, and I'm just not a huge fan of the highlights in it. Now I do like the bronzer, but I believe I have this bronzer in another BECCA palette that I own. The blush is okay, but it's not something that I wear all the time, and I just feel like these highlights just don't really work well for my skin tone. I wish I had thought about it more before I purchased it. I just got, you know, hyped up and excited. I was like, yeah, BECCA's palette, like a new palette from BECCA, like yay. But I wish I'd have just put a little bit more thought into it, because I did spend a lot of money on this palette and I'm not really a fan. I I do want to set up like a Poshmark account so I can sell some of these items because, like I said, they're all lightly used. This one looks a little dusty, but I've only used it a few times. So if you guys would be interested in like shopping my Poshmark or something like that, let me know in the comment section down below if that's something you guys would be interested in. The next thing is from KYLIE. So this is the Burgundy palette from KYLIE Cosmetics. This was the first thing I purchased from KYLIE. I'm pretty sure this is the first thing that she came out with. I got excited. I was like, you know, how is it gonna be? I was excited to try it. I think I paid, I wanna say like $40 for this, somewhere in the 40 range. And here's what the palette looks like. Mine is very lightly used. I've barely used this palette, to be honest, guys. I think I've used it a few times. But I just feel like it's a pretty palette and the shadows work really nicely and everything. But I do kind of regret buying this, if I'm being honest, just because I feel like I have so many of these colors in other palettes. I have Morphe palettes with these colors in it. I just have a lot of these colors, so I don't really go into this palette. Like I said, I've probably only used it maybe 5 times, maybe. And I do regret buying it just because I feel like $40 is quite a lot for only a few shadows, and I feel like I never use them anyways. The next product I regret is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is the waterproof one. I actually purchased this for my wedding to wear on my wedding day because, you know, you cry on your wedding day, and I was like, I need waterproof mascara. And I just don't like this. I wish I never bought it. I feel like I was excited because I do like the Better Than Sex, but there's something about this mascara that I'm just not a fan of. I feel like it does run on my face, so like on my lower lash line especially, it'll run down throughout the day, and I also just feel like it's pretty clumpy, and I'm just not a fan of the formula of this. And I think this is like $24 or something like that, so definitely regret purchasing this mascara. The next thing that I regret buying is this Clay Play palette from Tarte. Now I know this is so many people's favorite palette, and I do like it. There's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, I just regret buying it because I feel like it's not needed in my makeup collection. It's a really pretty palette, and I feel like there's a lot of useful colors in here. Here's what the inside looks like. The only problem, like I said, I have with it is just that I just don't need it. I have a lot of other Tarte palettes that have very similar colors in them. I have bronzers from Tarte. I have my Tarte Pro Glow palette that I feel like has the same bronzer shade in there. And I just don't feel like I ever reached for this palette. And I want to say it was pretty expensive. I want to say it was almost, I'm trying to remember, but I think it was like close to $60 maybe, $50, I'm not sure. I know it was expensive, it might have been $40, but I know that it was a bit pricey, and for something that I hardly ever use, I do regret purchasing it, and I wish that I had waited. Really this whole line, because I did get the Tarte foundation at the same time I got this one, and I love Tarte's products, but these two were just a miss for me. I do like the palettes, I just never use it, so it's kind of like one of those things that you like, but you never use, so you regret buying because you never use it. The next thing that I regret buying is these lashes from Huda Beauty. These are in Scarlet. I just feel like these lashes were really, really hard to use. They just kind of, I don't know, they were just really difficult to apply, and they kind of flicked up. They were very heavy when I was wearing them as well, and I just am not a fan of them. I do want to try some of her other lashes, but I just didn't really like these ones, and I regret buying them because I'm pretty sure these are like $25 for one pair of lashes. And to be honest, you guys, I'm very picky about my lashes. I only like certain kinds. I like them to be a certain way, and these were just not really doing it for me. Yeah, next thing I regret buying is this brush. So this is the MAC 135 brush, and I actually like using this brush. But the thing that I regret about it is I think I spent $42 on this brush. One brush, $42. That's what I regret. Because this brush is nice and all, but it's no different than any other brush that I have. I just feel like I have Morphe brushes that are very similar to this. I think I have one from Wet n Wild. I know that I have one from BH Cosmetics that's very similar to this. So I just feel like I do like the brush and I use it sometimes. But honestly, I only use it because I feel guilty if I don't use it because of how much money I spent on it. So I would say I regret this. I purchased it because I heard a lot of YouTubers talking about it. And I get that they may like it because, you know, $42 to them might not be like that much money. but to me, $42 for one brush is a lot, and I want to be in love with it, and I'm not in love with this brush. The next things that I regret buying are actually these Huda Beauty 3D highlighting palettes. So I have 2 of them, and I wouldn't say that I regret buying one of them in particular, but I regret buying both of them, if that makes any sense. And I believe these were like 40 something a piece, and I just feel like I didn't need both of them, and sometimes I get so excited about new releases that I'm just like, I need them all. And I just wish I would have like kind of realized that they have some of the same shades in there. So like the blush and the bronzer are almost the same in both of the palettes. I think the blush is the same and the bronzer's a little bit different, but it's hardly that much different. So I just wish that I would have just gotten one instead of both of them. They're both nice individually, but I just wish I wouldn't have purchased both of them. So I do like both the palettes, but I regret them for the price. I wish I would have just gotten one of them. I think the one that I like best is the Pink Sands edition. I think I said this one first, but I think I like this one best. But I do regret purchasing both of these. I wish I would have just gotten one of them. The final thing that I regret buying is this tattoo liner from Kat Von D. I'm just not a fan of this liner, you guys. I feel like it just, I don't know, there's something about it. I feel like it's really hard to use. I know a lot of people really like this liner, but for me, I'm just not a fan of it. I don't like using it. I feel like it's very messy. It gets everywhere, and I'm just not a fan of this pencil, and I feel like I spent a pretty penny on this guy, and for me not to like it is kind of annoying. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this, and that is my final product that I regret buying. I know some of these items I said were decent items, but I do regret purchasing them. I know a lot of them were perfectly fine items. I just regret spending the money on them because I don't use them or because I just found something I like better. Sometimes I just feel like with makeup you get really excited about new releases and everything, and I've really actually kind of drawn back from purchasing as much as I used to because I was on top of that. I was getting every new release, and then I realized things like the Tarte palette and things like that I already own things that are very similar to where I'm like, do I really need that? Does that really fit in my makeup collection? So I just try to think about my purchases a little bit more now and kind of see if I have things that are very, you know, similar to that or something that is exactly the same as far as the Huda palette. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Let me know in the comment section down below some of the products that you guys regret purchasing. Let me know your thoughts on the products I mentioned, and don't forget to subscribe before you guys go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.